Yes, I am eating during Mission 7, and I am unashamed of it. This mission, I believe, marks the first time you meet the UFO. Now, I just want to make very clear how much I hate the UFO. He's a fuckhead. He sucks. I can't say enough about him negatively. Especially later in the game, as you'll find out why. Now, most monsters are big damage magnets. Usually, only occasionally, they do serious damage, like other than Rodan. Rodan in general does a fairly predictable amount of damage to regular units. The UFO? The UFO just sucks. He doesn't miss, ever. Ever. No. He's a fucking Super X for the other side that does far more damage than most of the monsters you'll encounter. And he moves fast. So what I want to stress is that he is a predator. And he is your primary Super X target for the next few missions. Now, later on, you'll see that the Super X will lose its value against him. But enough about the UFO, even though I could go on. The other wonderful thing about this level is that it's the first time that you get the SY-3 10 million fighter plane. You have to build the motherfucker out of 3 parts. But you will appreciate it whenever you get it. Now, I just want to make clear here, there's a research station where normally you'd get a mazer or a freezer or some wonderful object. No, they just put that there to fuck with you. There is no, at any time, no matter how many times I checked, just because I was curious, no time in this level do you ever get a mazer or a freezer. But that's okay, because you get 2 Super X's, and you get the SPF 10 million airplane. Now, after the new Allies level, you can generally find Mothra in most levels if you look for her egg with the radar car. Now, I didn't know that until the following level. So by all means, if you think there's a suspicious little spot on this map where you could find her, look for her, because I actually haven't. However, I do want to stress that very likely you wouldn't need her. Now, I made a mistake up at that top airbase by not moving the planes out fast enough, and so my second Super X was actually delayed. Don't do that. Both of those Super X's are key to your victory. Now move everything up, try to defend that airbase in the top left. That's where you're going to make a stand against pretty much every monster in this level. And I do want to say, contrary to what you might think, Ghidorah is not as big of a threat, in general, as you might think. He has the most life of any monster. He definitely can shell out the damage if he decides to. But I have, in 2 scenarios, held him off with a transport truck, because he just wasn't doing enough damage. But he won't appear very soon, so you should focus all of your efforts, as usual. I will always stress this, I suppose, on Rodan. Or I should say, focus on Rodan when he comes to you. Defend this airbase. Don't move far away from it. Defend that airbase and defend the hell out of that bridge. I don't care what you have to put there. I don't care if you have to put a transport truck there. Don't let that bridge get killed. Because both Rodan and Baragan tend to congregate around that base. And if you can't get ground-based units in there, then you might end up falling short on units and losing something important like a Super X. Now you can move the SY3 parts out by themselves, but they only move 2 spaces on a excuse me, on a road. So start shuttling them out on a road, have one part on the truck, and then just drop it off, head the truck back. I mean, it's a simple concept. It's pretty common sense. But, you know, no harm in reinforcing a good point. Ghidorah and that fucking UFO. The Super X from hell. That you do not get to use. That doesn't miss. Or I guess it doesn't usually miss. But still, doesn't usually and doesn't are almost the same thing when you're dealing with that cocksucker. Yeah, I'll get a lot more profane when it deals with the UFO. I just despise that thing with a passion because there's dick you can do to it unless you're using a Super X or the SY3. Yeah, send both of your Super X's to tie down the UFO and Ghidorah. You want to buy as much time as you can for the SY3. Probably, had I played a little bit smarter, I could have taken out Rodan at least a little bit faster by having the Super X's both out in that vicinity and then using them. Because the laser is just a wonderful weapon to use against Rodan. And there he is in all of his douchebaggery. My second most hated enemy after the UFO. Yeah, and just get used to seeing the UFO. I believe he is in all of the final, or the last half of the game. First half he's not there. Last half he's pretty much in every level.